Okay. Hi, everyone who has joined us on this hangout. Today, I am joined with Amit Lakhani and Swarup Sarkar. A lot of people who would essentially be watching this hangout would know about both of these activists because they have been prominent faces of activism on 498 and misuse, and that's exactly the topic of the discussion today. The latest Supreme Court guidelines that have come out yesterday intending to curb the 498 misuse. Amit Lakhani is Safe Family Foundation Delhi chapter's coordinator, Amit?
Yeah, I'm the coordinator there.
Yeah, and Swarup Sarkar, if I may say, is a pioneer in the men's rights movement in India and has, I think, created so many warriors who are today fighting against 498 misuse. So welcome to the show, both of you, Swarup and Amit Lakhani.
Thank you everyone who's watching.
Okay, so my first question to both of you, as people who have been vehemently raising voice against 498 misuse for the last so many years. Amit, I know you for the last 5 years now. Swarup, you have been in this space for the last more than 12 years, I guess. So what's the initial reaction to the Supreme Court judgment that has come out in 498 misuse yesterday? Let's go with Swarup first. Swarup, what do you have to say about the judgment?
First of all, I am not surprised with this judgment. But I expected more conclusive should come out. Because the Supreme Court guidelines, recognition of misuse of 498A, is not Supreme Court telling first time. This is the fifth time. It is the 2005 when we went to Supreme Court. They say misuse should be stopped, otherwise it will become a legal terrorism. But please go to the parliament. Okay, our people go to the parliament. Rajya Sabha made a committee. After all the participants, women organization, men rights organization, judges, lawyers, the final outcome was they are going to implement CRPC 41A, and their claim was by doing this, misuse of 498A will reduce. When the Domestic Violence Act came, all the discussions, all women organizations claim and try to convince us by bringing the Domestic Violence Act, 498A misuse will get reduced. But the last two judgments, Arnesh Kumar and today's few days back Rajesh judgments, it proves beyond reasonable doubt that no action had been able to contain the 498A misuse. So the last line I quote in the Rajya Sabha, what was the last quote? If the misuse of 498A does not reduce or stop, they have no option but to amend the law and make it believable. So at this juncture, I would prefer
Swarup, are you there?
if the misuse had not stopped, they are supposed to amend the law. Now go
Swarup,
back to them and
Swarup, I think
remind
we
them.
missed you for some time.
Just a minute, Deepika.
Your video got hanged, so I think we missed you out. I think the last line that you were saying when I heard you.
Last line I am saying, my appeal to all the activists, all the NGO who are working for the main welfare or whatever may be human rights, please read the Rajya Sabha committee report. You had an opportunity to go back to them and tell them what action you have taken till date. 498A misuse had not reduced. So it is the time of responsibility of the government. As per Indian Constitution, Article 21, Live and Liberty of Citizen, they must stop this 498A now. women organization cannot say no, because earlier they used to say, no, there is no domestic violence act in India. Now domestic violence act with you. So why you need 498 now? So on these occasions, my message to the activists and others. Second message to the victims. From the judgment's point of view, victims feel happy. Because like we have seen Arnish Kumar judgments, or legal terrorism judgments, whenever such type of guidelines comes, victims are feel happy, relaxed. But please understand, law had not changed. You make family welfare committee or women welfare committee or men welfare committee, till the time law does not change, the sword is on your head. Now, when sword will cut you, earlier maybe pain was more. This time your pain may be less, but it is a pain. Because see, all over the world, any disputes in marriage, it had been resolved by the civil law. It is the country like India where the marriage disputes, our government and court try to resolve through criminal law.
So basically, Swarup, if I can sum up, you're saying that guidelines have come time and again, but that has not curbed the misuse of this law.
Guidelines is a limited effect. I think the best guidelines was Arnish Kumar judgments, very strong, with a conclusive directions. If you do not follow, High Court will take contempt of court. Tell me how many cases IO has punished? See, court process, after a criminal law, not only arrest, not only your appearance, once your name in the criminal list, your passport getting is difficult, visa getting is difficult, getting a job is difficult. It is a total violation of life and liberty under Constitution 21. So on that point of view, I am really, maybe this is a strong word.
But unlike earlier judgments, Swarup, in this judgment, the judges, honorable judges, have actually mentioned this line that this is violation of human rights, any abuse of process of law. So do you think this takes it a step ahead than the judgments that have come earlier?
Accept that as a citizen of India, I should expect the Supreme Court should have looked after the Constitution 21 on this 498 as a void, like they have done in 66A. Because when life and liberty is under danger, you are giving some bandage activity. It may reduce some pain. But when you termed as a criminal on the book of the law, you have to go through the process. Why such judgments came is my feeling, my understanding, what I understand from the court judges' approach, lawyer approach. This 498 is a big business for everyone, and nobody wants to lose this business. So the basic purpose of 498 is how to grab the money from the husband family. And how fast. Of the late, when we are educating the victims, don't surrender, fight. So now court are finding difficulty to extortion of money from the people so easily. So there is a whole direction of these judgments, how to make a settlement fast so that both parties agree. They are trying to bring the both parties together so that settlement process get faster.
I think
and their burden is getting reduced. So these judgments aim, number one, first they are protecting their work so that 5 cases should not be in 5 court, it should be 1 court. Number two, the settlement, the word settlement, if you read the judgment, I read 6 times repeatedly. The aim is how to settle the case. But criminal law, basic law, why, if that is the case, then why this law is needed? You made this law non-compoundable, you made this law non-billable, you made this law conjugable. Now, if these things through guidelines you want to restrict, like you are making compoundable, you are making billable, you are making non-conjugable, means FIR will not be registered, then better to scrap the 498. Na? That should be the wisdom of the judge. But I feel pity. Maybe they are scared or they are not ready to recognize the Article Constitution 21's live and liberty. And that is the fact. Indian citizen also does not realize their live and liberty had been hijacked by such type of unfair law. And then giving some bandage activity, with that people feel happy. Okay, this judgment I will term as a bandage activity. Your pain may be less, but misuse of 498, number of case registration will reduce. I doubt from my past experience of 4 earlier guidelines.
Okay, Amit, what do you have to say about the judgment? Your initial reactions? Are there any
Deepika,
positives?
yeah. Deepika, I second Swarup's views in a way, because this is not the first time such guidelines have come. It has come time and again, and all of these guidelines somewhere recognize the widespread misuse of 498A. And in fact, we had a discussion earlier also when I was very clear that this is time now where this should be scrapped completely. So they should have been, if there was a situation where the Supreme Court would have given some directions to the government to look into the law, to make amendments, and to overhaul the whole matrimonial litigation process in India, it would have been a perfect situation. But as far as this specific judgment is concerned, I have mixed reactions to it, because there are some guidelines which I'm sure are going to give, because we are in touch with lot of victims who are having cases outside their cities, and they travel, they have to take their parents along every time there's a date. So I'm sure there would be some respite to it, but there are certain guidelines which only time will tell how effective they are, how they're going to get implemented, and where in fact the judgment itself says that after probably 6 months there will be a they'll look into it, and DLSA DALSA, District Legal Service Authority, will give a report on if there is any changes required and all that. So there are a few guidelines which the time will only tell whether it is effective or it has actually helped. But yes, a few points are there, especially the points with respect to the NRIs, the passport compounding issue, and they might give a respite to the victims of the misuse of 498A who are fighting their cases, the elderly, the old and elderly in the family. But yes, like Swarup rightly said, we are not sure how will it actually reduce the number of false complaints, and whether tomorrow it should not become another window wherein people will be forced to pay up and settle. So that only time will tell. It would have been a perfect situation, because the court has time and again said that there's a widespread misuse, and there should have been judgment to the level that the government should have been given some instructions to rehaul the whole process, look into the amendments and the laws in the act itself.
Now, a lot of people are calling this as hogwash, and I think Swarup has commented beautifully on that, saying, they're just now trying to hasten the settlement thing, which is sort of, the benefit, you call it, or the biggest start point why people make use 498A, because it's a criminal. people get settled. And a lot of people have raised concerns that, you know, these welfare committees will be, you know, another step to the addition of the entire pressure that is built up on the husband to pay up or to settle the matter. Do you think that, and if I may add, earlier, you know, mediation processes usually involved individuals, whether that is at the CAW cell level or at the mediation level. You know, there used to be lawyer as mediators, but there was it was majorly an individual sort of interaction, and we have seen corruption in there. Do you think when we are talking about a committee where there would be several people? Do you think it may be they may give a fair share of hearing to the husband side as well, and this whole demand of money may actually get reduced?
Deepika, as far as this, okay, so you can go on.
Yes, Swarup.
Deepika, it is very easy. Cow pupils are cropped. But please tell me, in the law, there where a person doing mediation, let it be at cow, let it be at Delhi Legal Service Authority, have any power. Suppose, for example, I am giving an example. Suppose a wife says husband beat him on this date, this date, this date. Husband give a evidence. Said this date I was in US or UK, I was not even present here. It is a clear evidence that she is lying. It has been proved beyond reasonable doubt on documentary. Can this committee have any power to prosecute that woman and put behind the bar? Committee is a mediation. Such type of mediation is happening at multiple level. Before case at council, okay, council is corrupt. Judges chamber, even judges are sending the people to Lok Adalat. Legal service also doing earlier. Only thing now, what has given in this judgment already going on. Maybe every court is not following, every state is not following. So this judgment may put all state, all courts in a same line, same procedures. But the outcome of those mediations is a mediation. You cannot force anyone. Suppose if wife is adamant, no, I will not stay with you if you do not leave your parents. Settlement failed. And after settlement failed, what happened? Case has to go and registered and you have to face it. Committee is empowered to close the FIR? As per law,
I don't
no.
think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
No. Committee does not have power.
No, but if the committee says that he
in the law till the time it is conceivable offense, case has to be registered. I have to wait and see the committee's constitutions. What power has given that constitutes? Participate or eligible to for that constitute. So if that committee having the power to close the case and taking the action or initiate the action as per their report. But from the judgment, it is not clear. So
Yeah.
I am not so much getting confidence.
The judgment says that they may give a report.
Effective.
No, they have to give a report, Amit. They have to give a report.
Is it binding?
The report
It is binding.
It's
Yeah,
not a
the
binding
judgment-
that they. It is not a binding that they
Yeah,
will
it's,
follow the report and they will take it into the consideration. And because this whole formation of this committee itself is a big question mark right now, because we really don't know who will be the people who will be sitting in the committee and how fair the committees are going to be. And like Swarup rightly said, that it should not become just another center of extortion from the man's side. And are there people in the committee going to be people who are working for the man, for the cause of the men and for the cause of women both, or people who understand the whole structure of how these cases go, and they have experience into this, because who is going to be in the committee is a big question mark. How these committees are going to work is a big question mark. So as of now, we cannot say that these committees are something which will make or break the situation.
Amit, I want to know from you if you can very crisply tell, what is the condition of mediation or the kind of counseling that, because a lot of people are now, I see, hell-bent on this word called mediation, counseling and everything. Can you quickly share what happens in a women's cell with husbands? What are the kind of experience people have come to you with in terms when they are sort of counseled in these women's cells or heard probably?
Deepika, these whenever the woman goes to file a 498 complaint, and especially in Delhi, it goes to the complaint goes to the CAW cell, and CAW cell then serves a notice to the husband side, and they insist on uh, getting all their relatives, parents, all their family members to the CAW cell. I have myself been to meet the heads of some of the CAW cells with respect to some gender sensitization program recently. I have seen men being treated like slaves. I have seen men, who were kind of sitting on one side. They did not even have the courage to stand up and speak out. So there is a complete anti-men situation. You're treated as if you're a criminal from day one. So not many people are able to have joined the NGOs and kind of taking counseling from them. So I see a lot of them which are there, and they are being treated like slaves, like
So basically, they're already
criminals from day
treated
one.
like
Yeah,
guilty. So
yeah,
they're
they're
already
treated like guilty.
now
Absolutely.
these committees, the formation of these committees apparently are going to be senior citizens and paralegal services authorities, and sort of any citizen actually can actually be a part of the committee. So do you think, probably let's look at the little, positive side of it. Do you think it would, the atmosphere in which these committees would operate, and the kind of people, the level understanding and the educational level of the people who would be sitting in these committees would probably at least better than what is happening right now?
But will the people know what the law is? Will the people be trained enough to handle the cases like 498A, and to understand the psyche of a accused? They will know the rights of an accused if they are able
That's of course, these are questions these are legitimate questions, of course, which.
There are big questions on the committee, the formation of the committee, on the people who are going to be on the committee, and how effective these committees are going to be. And we fear that these committees should also not be another center of extortion and another level of corruption in the whole system. And what will be the role of the CAW cells then?
Mm-hmm. And also probably, hopefully, the composition is not of people with extreme feminist mindset who would anyways presume that the man would be lying, or he would be crying false about being implicated falsely. So in shortage of time, my last comments, request to both of you. What is your message for the activists? A lot of people think that this is sort of the last sword that could be, that could fall on 498A. Do you think it is like that? What is the way ahead? Amit and Swarup, do you think SIF would be interested in participating in these family welfare committees? Would we have volunteers from SIF becoming a part of the committee? So what do you see as the way forward?
Okay, maybe I'll take little more. See, to change the system, you have to enter in the system. There is no disputes. But my experience, whoever from this movement entered the system, instead of changing the system, they change themselves. So that is my concern. So my appeal to all activists, whoever is going to enter in the system, please try to change the system, not change yourself. Number one. Number two, all the victims, my message, Now Supreme Court has given you some band-aid, first aid, so that you can fight back. 10 years, 12 years back, the victims was so much pressure and threat, they even cannot imagine to fight. So now I don't think any victim has any reason to give me an excuse that my mother has to go to the court, my father has to go to the court, so I have to surrender and make a settlement and give the money. SIF always emphasis, you fight, case on merit, whatever court order, let court order 1 lakh rupees maintenance, you follow that. But learn to fight. That is the thing. So all the victims, my appeal, see, when you not fighting, surrendering against legal terrorism, then the opposite party's moral and such type of things will increase. For the activist, all the NGOs are working. My message, you got a golden opportunity. Read the last Rajya Sabha committee where this law amendment was rejected. You have two strong judgments, Arnesh Kumar and
Swarup, we missed you there. Swarup, are you there?
Yes, your responsibility to amend the law immediately on the spirit of Constitution 21 to give the life and liberty of Indian citizens, which you promised in your last report. Now we proved it that your action that time taken had no effect. That is the reason court is giving judgment. Second message, third and last message to my Supreme Court judges and judiciary. Sir, Constitution was made, politicians will not change the law for their vote bank politics. But why you are not protecting Constitution 21 for life and liberty? When a law abused so much, you yourself accepted not 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 5 times. You are giving only first aid activity. And after 2 years, you will come out with another guidelines. But in this process, it is too late. Injustice somewhere is a direct threat of justice everywhere. So Supreme Court judges must take the responsibility to protect the Indian citizens right under Constitution, Article 21, life and liberty. Thank you, Deepika.
Thank you. Amit, your last comment, and I'm sorry we are running short of time, so very quick now.
Deepika, I would say that yes, this judgment is in the right direction. It may not have given the complete protection, the kind of protection that we are asking for. So when you said that we are already in talks with some district legal service authorities already for empaneling our NGOs which are under SIF with DLSAs in different states. So that process is already going on, and like Swarup said, that we would strive to change the system and not change ourselves. We will not compromise on our demands, on our ideologies that we've been working on, and we will strive towards protecting the welfare of men the way we've been doing. We will still ask the government, we will approach the government, we will approach the authorities to look into the amendment which the law should have, or probably scrap 498A and overhaul the entire legal system with respect to the matrimonial cases, and that's what we are aiming at right now, Deepika.
All right. I really hope that somebody listening to both of you, especially to Swarup, actually goes to the Rajya Sabha on the basis of these very strong judgments and actually asks for amendments in the law. I think whatever little relief the judgment can extend to people, I think hats off to all the people like you who have been working really hard on the issue of 498 and misuse. I think the Supreme Court recognizing again and again this issue somewhere, of course, signifies the importance of the work that all of you do. Thank you so much, Swarup. Thank you so much, Amit, for joining me today on the Google Hangout Live.
Thank you, Deepika.
Thank
Thanks,
you for
everybody.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.